Today, I'm flying Emirates for 24 hours in their first class suites, starting in Brazil and flying for over 10,000 miles to Europe. So long in fact, we'll be stopping in Dubai en route to change aircraft. The second leg gets even better, where I'll fly in the world's most luxurious first class suite. Now this is far from cheap, retailing at over $12,000, but you'll be joining me every step of the way, from showering at 40,000 feet to kicking back in the onboard lounge drinking Dom. With that, let's pick up our journey in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Well, hello from Brazil. After spending some time in Rio, I'm back in Sao Paulo to fly home to Europe, the long way. First and foremost, we'll need to find the Emirates check-in counters. Given an A380 is operating the first leg, it's unsurprising to see how busy it is. Thankfully, the first class line is deserted, and I'm able to sort out the various formalities in just a few minutes. Next, we'll head to security and passport control. There's no fast track available here, but unlike check-in, it's actually pretty quiet. Now, ordinarily, I love to make a song and dance about the lounge offering, but tonight's options are, well, pretty poor. So let's brush over this and focus on our flight today. We'll be boarding from gates 303 and 304 this evening. I, like many, are keen to get on board and get some rest as it's already past midnight. So let's do just that. Down the jet bridge and I get first sight of our aircraft, this 7-year-old Airbus A380. Let's get straight on board and into the first class cabin, located to the front on the top deck of our aircraft. I've chosen Suite 3 Kilo this evening, though I'm told by the flight attendant I have almost the entire cabin to myself. With no overhead bins, you can stow luggage directly in front of you, of which there's plenty of room. I'm offered a welcome drink of Veuve Clicquot, which in terms of first class is rather disappointing. This is because of the tax levied on the airline while serving alcohol on the ground. However, when we take off, a far more premium option will be served. One refreshing cold towel later and we're just about ready to push back from stand. I'll get my seatbelt on as the safety video is screened.
Welcome aboard. You should be seated with your seatbelt fastened. Wear it low and tight across your lap and adjust it by pulling the strap.
And just like that, we're hurtling along the runway and up into the late night skies over Sao Paulo. So given we're flying Emirates, you've probably guessed by now, our first segment will take us some 15 hours and 7,500 miles over to Dubai. Now we've reached our cruising altitude of 44,000 feet, it's time to get ready for sleep. It's about 2 AM at this point and I'm shattered. With all this travel, who doesn't love a shower before bed? Of course that's doable on board the Emirates A380. At the front of the first class cabin, there are 2 shower spas. You've more than likely seen this space by now, but it's got to be the most incredible in-flight bathroom out there. Let's take a look around. It's funny as you almost forget this bathroom actually has a toilet. Easy to do when there are fresh orchids and luxury spa products dotted around. Time to walk across the heated floor and step into one of the very few showers in the sky. You get around 5 minutes before the water stops, so whilst it's relaxing, it's a quick one. Right, let's get changed into the provided moisturising pyjamas, not forgetting these super comfy fleece lined slippers. With that, let's head back to my suite. I still can't get over I've just had a shower in the sky, this never gets old. Would you look at that, my bed has been turned down for me, complete with a super soft duvet, mattress topper and fluffy pillow. With no hesitation, let's dive in and get some rest. I love the privacy you get with these suites. With the doors shut, it nearly fully cocoons you in your own private space. Night all, catch you in the morning.
The next day.
Well, good morning, and so begins the shortest day of my life. Whilst it's light now, because of our flight path, it will be getting dark in just a few hours. Given I didn't partake in any food in the lounge, it's fair to say I'm pretty hungry. Let's take a look at the Diner Anytime menu. Now, whilst breakfast would probably make the most sense, where's the fun in that? Let's tackle a 3-course meal. With my order placed, let's transform my suite into a dining room. Usually bedding would be restowed behind my seat, but given the cabin is largely empty, I'll put these in one of the vacant suites out of the way. The dining table folds out at the press of a button, and then promptly covered in crisp linen, whilst I'm served some first class appropriate champagne. I've mentioned previously, but Emirates is the only airline serving Dom and indeed Moet, thanks to their exclusive partnership with LVMH. Dom will of course complement the obligatory caviar presented most wonderfully here. In fact, with much fanfare, Emirates announced earlier this year that passengers could order unlimited caviar, and as much as I love it, I won't be pushing that today. Next, I'm served an amuse-bouche of cured beef, mozzarella, baby tomatoes and basil, arguably more of an additional appetizer. Talking of which, my next dish is ready. Of course, a Trek trendy staple, the Arabic meze. I absolutely love these and can't help but order it on a Middle Eastern carrier. It feels more of an event than anything else. Now for my main course, another Emirati dish, the chicken mandi, in a traditional spice marinade served on fragrant rice, and garnished with cashews and pine nuts. You see, I don't always order the steak. Full to burst, I forgo the dessert this time, however the flight attendant is having none of it, and offered me some chocolates. How incredible do these look? So well, I caved and enjoyed them with a freshly pulled cappuccino. Now, would you believe it, as I recline my chair to relax post dinner, it's actually got dark outside. Award for the shortest day of my life right here. I guess there's only one thing for it: movie night. Where has the time gone? I'm informed by the FA that we'll be starting to descend into Dubai soon. So let's get changed back into my clothes, and not forgetting the all-important Tims. But worry not, we still have plenty more flying to come on a first class even better than this. You'd imagine 15 hours in the sky would seem like an eternity, but when you account for sleeping, a shower, and I almost forgot to share with you my brief visit to the onboard lounge. As I said, the time literally flew by. Welcome to the United Arab Emirates. We have just a few hours here before our early flight first thing. But that still leaves enough time to get out into the city and sleep in a proper bed. And just before we check out the next leg of our journey, the world's most luxurious first class, it's time for a quick word from today's video sponsor, Soundcore by Anchor. It goes without saying I travel a lot, and on my long journeys, being able to relax and listen to my favourite music and podcasts is vital. Unfortunately, the busy, noisy environment of planes and trains makes this quite a challenge. That is until now. Introducing the quietest solution for your next journey, Soundcore's strongest noise cancelling earbuds. They reduce noise by up to 98.5% by using an in-ear sensor, high sensitivity custom driver, and noise isolation chamber. Thanks to their adaptive active noise cancellation 2.0, they can utilise real-time calculations to detect and create a noise cancelling curve tailored to your ear canal and environment. But what truly sets them apart for me is the studio quality sound they deliver, ensuring consistently high-res audio even while on the move. The battery won't let you down either, with 10 hours playtime plus an additional 40 hours from the wireless charging case. There's also fast charging, meaning just 10 minutes in the case will allow for 4 hours of listening. Shrink the noise wherever you go with Soundcore's Liberty 4 NC. Get yours using my link down in my video description.
The next day.
And just like that, the sun rises over the desert and we're back on our way to DXB. I'm dropped at Terminal 3, which is where all Emirates flights depart from. There's a dedicated section of the terminal for business and first class, so let's waste no time in checking in for our next sector. I'm promptly issued my Europe-bound boarding pass, so let's head over through security and go and find out what the lounge situation is this morning. Thankfully at Emirates' home base, the lounge is a significant improvement to Sao Paulo. This is the Concourse B Lounge, a smaller version of their largest lounge, which I visited when I flew to New Zealand back in January. This facility is located above the main passenger concourse and provides a true sanctuary away from the hustle and bustle of the airport. Whilst there are a ton of facilities, caffeine is very much on my mind this morning, so with that we'll head to the restaurant. Service does seem a little relaxed here, which surprises me, but when you do get to place your order, you certainly won't be going hungry. Just look at the plethora of options available. In fact, I could forgo eating on board entirely, which is perhaps what some aim for, wanting to maximise sleep. I, however, opt for a cappuccino, partly for time constraints, but also because I want to maximise the onboard food experience. On the move again, it's time to head to our gate, and it's a trek and not the trendy kind. Okay, I'll see myself out. Our gate is C2, located a good half an hour walk from the lounge, something you need to really watch out for with Emirates. Mind you, given the food I've eaten and I'm about to consume, it's probably a good thing to get those steps in.
Much later.
Here we are then, literally at the other side of the airport. I'm met by, frankly, mayhem. I'm surprised to see no first class priority lane offered here, though I've no issue waiting for a few minutes. I'm through in about 10 minutes or so, and what do I see? Our stunning 5-year-old Boeing 777-300ER. Let's waste no more time and get straight on board. Welcome to my suite, 2 Kilo. Whilst I've flown this before, it really does take your breath away. As with the A380, there are no overhead bins, but the storage space in front is ample for my carry-on. I'm promptly served a delicious glass of 2013 Dom. Good to see there are no serving restrictions here, of course. As I'm so late to board, it's a matter of minutes before we begin to push back from stand. Of course, this also means I must get my seatbelt on, as the safety video is screened.
Illuminated. Adjust the belt by pulling the strap. If necessary, oxygen masks will appear from above you. Pulling the mask towards you starts the flow of oxygen.
Finally, we're ready for takeoff, and just like that, we hurtle down the runway and off onto the last leg of our journey. As we continue to climb in altitude, let's take a look at our route. We'll be flying over the next 7.5 hours, over 3,000 miles, all the way to Brussels. Finally, we reach our cruising altitude of 37,000 feet. So let's get this party started with some more 2013 Dom along with some warm nuts. By the way, don't think for a second the novelty of flying in such a cabin ever gets lost on me. I'm still like a kid at Christmas every second of the flight. Let's take a look at today's menu then. I know it's early, but I'm feeling lunch at 9 AM. As usual, let me know what you'd ordered down below. With my preferences placed, I think it's time we take a proper look around this rather special suite. Of the 354 seats on board, there are just 6 first-class Gamechanger Suites, located right at the front of the aircraft. It's a lovely space to be in, more akin to a luxury Mercedes than a plane seat. I'm unsure if it's the soft fine leather seats which you sink into, your personal minibar filled with snacks and soft drinks, or even the writing kit. It's truly surreal spending time here, and I think a 7-hour flight is simply not long enough to explore all of the features. Practically speaking, there's more than enough storage, with a cupboard to your left offering enough space for a carry-on suitcase or rucksack. Should you want to hang a jacket, there's a full-length closet complete with hangers for your convenience. There's even full control over the climate, something unique to this aircraft. And yes, I did spend a good 20 minutes changing the colour and brightness of my suite. It's the little things, right? I make it lunchtime. Let's extend the dining table from its hiding place, as it's meticulously set by my lovely flight attendant. Not forgetting, of course, the dining mode on my zero-gravity armchair. So to start, yes, I'm aware by now I'm quite predictable, it's of course caviar for the second time in 24 hours. I suppose that means double points on your bingo cards today. For main, I've gone for another Trek trendy favourite, a steak served with mashed potatoes and broccoli. I usually find the Emirates beef pretty dry and overcooked, but today it was actually spot on. Perhaps there's been some tweaks to the catering over the last few months. Feeling pretty full at this point, I'll have my dessert later in the flight. Though alas, as before, I'm tempted by a few chocolates to close served with a warm towel and sparkling water. So it's time to boot the Tims off and get just a little more comfy. We're nearing 20 hours of flying in total by now, and even in first class, it still takes its toll. Now to grab the provided Emirates tote. You know the drill by now, it's PJ time. Unfortunately, the Boeing 777 has no shower facilities, so that won't be a thing today. Instead, there are 2 bathrooms at the front of the first class cabin. I think you could probably fit 4 of these bathrooms in the space of 1 shower spa on the A380. Yeah, it's fair to say it's compact, but it's finished beautifully with fresh orchids, a faux wood toilet seat, china basin and full-size Bulgari perfume. So what's in the tote? Well, I've been provided with another fully stocked amenity kit, along with my favourite moisturising pyjamas. Much better. Feeling $1,000,000, let's head back to my suite. Don't you just love the mood lighting in this cabin? In my absence, my lovely flight attendant has turned down my suite into an ultra comfy bedroom complete with a fluffy duvet, thick down mattress topper and a sheepskin blanket. With the doors shut, this truly becomes the most private bedroom in commercial aviation. While that is until the 3-room Etihad residence returns later this month, watch this space.
2 hours later.
At this point, I really don't know what time of day or night it is. 3 continents, countless time zones, but all in the lap of luxury. Shall we take the dessert I didn't eat earlier? I think there's only one option really, the dark chocolate custard cake of course, served with a fresh caffeine hit. Something I think Emirates does best out of any carrier is its in-flight entertainment. This is across the board from economy to first, they all use their ICE system. So there's still the last part of Top Gun to finish, so let's settle in with the provided noise cancelling headphones, my cappuccino and relax. I'm notified by my flight attendant that it's not all too long before we begin our descent into Belgium. This is my cue to get changed back into my clothing. Oh, and by the way, this aftershave provided in the amenity kit retails at over $300 a bottle, and it smells pretty good to be fair. Lastly, of course, we can't forget the Tims. I don't want to be walking around Brussels airport in slippers. And there we go, just in time for our final approach. It's crazy to me that this concludes 24 hours of flying, though certainly this has got to be the most comfortable way of doing it. Now, we must talk cost. What did I pay? Well, nowhere near the retail cost of a frankly absurd $12,000, so I used 180,000 Emirates Skywards plus £987, which I'm sure you'll agree is quite the deal in order to experience both of Emirates' best first class products. Well, there we have it. Welcome to Belgium. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure across the world. I'll catch you all again next time.